Hi everyone. Welcome to the last Jeff Flow of June 2020. Guys, it's been a month and a half. I don't know if you feel like I do, but I feel like I did a lot of paddling this month just to keep the head above water. But it was a good month. Personally, I got a lot of things done that that I was wanting to, and I'm glad to close off the chapter of June though, and I'm very much looking forward to July. So I'm just waiting for my thingy to update, my iPad's update, so I can get onto the video and have a chat with you guys. There we go. Cool. Hi, Michael. Welcome. Hi, Belinda. Hi, Karen. Hi, everybody. So, if you were in class yesterday, or if you saw my post a little earlier on this afternoon, this week is all about getting into our hips a little bit. And of course, for a lot of us who are sitting a lot during our day, we tend to pick up a lot of stiffness there, that deep flexion of the hip flexors, and that's generally quite closely related to a lot of lower back pain issues. Of course, the SI joint that you guys know, a lot of us can have issues there, is kind of the two little joints in that flat part of the spine, and they're part of the pelvis, but they're also part of the vertebra. So really tricksy little guys, and so it's so important that we keep that the health around our pelvis, the muscles, that they're toned and strong and support the pelvis, but that they also don't over tighten and become tense, and that stops kind of any natural movement that the pelvis needs to accommodate the movement of the spine as well. Hi Larissa, welcome. Hi Roz, hi Sandra. Cool, all the regulars tuning into class. That's what I want to see, guys. How are you all feeling? How are your bodies feeling? Second day of the week. If I know you guys, you've already busted out 3 or 4 training sessions already. So let me know how that's been going. Hi Lindiwe. Hi Teresa. Welcome everybody. So nice to have you all here. For tonight's practice, we will need, as per usual, your pillow, and then either a yoga strap if you have one. If not, then a kind of any kind of strap type thing. You could use a towel. You could use like a dog leash if it's long enough and clean enough. But it becomes like, for the purpose of this evening's practice, it'll become a little bit of an extension of our arms and just help us to feel the poses a little bit differently. And then, of course, the cushion's there for a bit of padding when you need. And also because some of us do have quite tight hips, when you sit a little higher on a cushion, it allows the hips to soften a little bit more. Hi, Siri. Hello, Zita. And then, of course, working into this area around the hips, right? The pelvic bowl that houses our intestines, that houses our reproductive organs. So just keeping that in mind when you're moving, these big parts of your body, of course, connected to those big thigh bones and the thigh muscles, the glutes, the hamstrings. Excuse me. With big, I always say, with big muscles come big emotions. So be patient with yourself. Don't worry about getting into the deepest pose you can get into unless it feels absolutely fabulous. Look after your body. Don't forget about your breath, guys. And in these beginner sessions, we move quite slowly. There's a lot of alignment cues. So if you have any questions after the class, please feel free to post them on the video. Working at the moment, but definitely doing this later because I'm a beginner. Yay, Eleanor, that's great news. Absolutely, guys. I mean, how amazing that if you miss the session, you can actually make it up. Or if you really, really love this session, then you can do it as many times as you want to again. But like I said, this whole week will be kind of geared at looking around the hips, focusing a little more on the lower body. Of course, the upper body is involved. But we're really going to almost, as if we could take our awareness to all the parts in and around the hips and notice, how does the front of my hips feel? How do the back of my hips feel? The sides, my pelvic floor, that SI joint, kind of that whole area just becomes a bit of our focus throughout the practice. So yes, we'll do some stretching, but we'll also do a little bit of strengthening, mobility, recovery. You guys know all of these things about the flow sessions. That's why I'm here, to give you a bit of TLC after the rest of the team is through with you for the week, or for the day. Hallo models! Lekker om jou hier te sien. Ek hoop jy doen die klas. Hi Joshua. Joshua and I were working earlier on because Sarah said I must really kick his butt in class today, and I said fine, just handstands and headstands. But I'm joking. This is a beginner's class. None of that today. So welcome, Josh. I hope you enjoy the class. So without generalizing, hips tend to be a lot tighter on male bodies. So guys, don't worry if these classes are a little tough for you this week. That's exactly why you need to be doing them. So, I always say when something triggers you, that's what you need to look at. If there's a pose that you really can't stand, that's the pose you need to be doing the most. Of course, keeping in mind that you never want to be feeling any pain in any of these shapes, right? So there's a difference between firmness in your body, holding the pose, and then tension in the shape. So where there are parts of your bodies that are contracting or holding tension that you might not even be aware of. And then of course there's that feeling of, ooh, this is seriously intense. I'm going to hold here. Ooh, I've got to breathe really deep. There's a difference between that and feeling pain, guys. So you start to really monitor your body, especially when we're in these flow sessions, we move a lot slower. So you've got time to really feel into your own body. Hi, Bridget. I'm a first timer and stiff thanks to Siri. Siri will love that. It's a compliment. Welcome, Bridget. Are you a first timer to yoga, or are you just a first timer to the flow sessions? And are there any other first timers to yoga? I'd love to know, guys, especially in these beginners classes. Welcome, Michelle. Lovely to have you here. And then, of course, Lisa, who's here, who was the inspiration behind the hip classes this week, guys. So, I always say, let me know what you guys want to do, what can be the theme of the week, what's going on in everyone's bodies. And I got a bunch of really amazing suggestions. And then Lisa popped out with hips, and something just went ding. And I was like, okay, cool. Let's do some hips this week. I haven't done hip work in a while. So yeah, like I say, hips don't lie. So we'll get into the hips today. Be patient with yourselves and enjoy it. Enjoy your practice. Your practice is a time you set aside for yourself. It's 45 minutes out of 24 hours in your day. We say in the WhatsApp messages as well, prepare your space. Make sure your mat is clean. Your space is quiet if possible. Light some candles, light some incense, light some oils, and really make this time count for yourself. Hi, Kaylee. Welcome. Ilana van Vesthuizen. Hello. First time. Welcome, Ilana. Are you a first timer to yoga or just a first timer to flow? Welcome to the session. Rina Iman, eerste keer vir yoga. Ek is baie bly, dit is 'n beginner klas. Ja nee, Rina, dit is Vat asseblief jou tyd. As iets nie reg voel nie, stop en dan kan jy weer na die video kyk of weer na my te kyk. Ek probeer soveel as moontlik regtig baie stadig deur die posisies werk en vir julle presies sê met hoe dit moet voel en hoe dit reg gedoen moet word. So vir jou eerste keer asseblief vat jou tyd en geniet dit. En dis die tweede week wat beginners is, so dis nogals lekker. All right, everyone, I think we should get started. We've got another new here. Amakhle, welcome, 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 welcome. One flow class. It's not really my thing, but I'm going to try and make more time for it. Larissa, yoga is never anyone's thing when they start, I can promise you that. But if you keep at it, it will change your life. I know I sound biased. I am very biased, and I know because I've walked that journey. So I hope you stick with us and stick it out. Cool, guys. Welcome, everyone. Let's get started. Cool. So you have your cushion and then your yoga strap or your towel just placed to the side. And then you can come to sit on your cushion, crossing now at your ankles. All right, so for a lot of us, sitting cross-legged already is quite intense. So you could stack yourself on 2 or 3 pillows here. Okay, let's rest the hands on our knees. Close your eyes for a moment. Draw your shoulders above your hips. And notice how when you draw your shoulders back, your knees might draw up a little bit. That's fine. But can you see if you can soften them with every exhale? Draw your top row of teeth parallel to the floor. Take a nice deep full breath in. And a nice exhale out through the mouth. And again, a deep breath in through the nose. And an exhale out through the mouth. And one more deep breath in through the nose. And out through the mouth. And keeping your eyes closed for a few more moments as you just ground into your sit bones. Bring yourself completely into your body. And then just acknowledging that, tonight's practice might be the last kind of session or leg practice that you do for the end of the 30th of June. And can you let it be a highlight of this month? Can you let it be a reflection and a time to indulge, almost like a gift that you give yourself for all the hard work that you've done in June, for everything that it's taken you mentally, emotionally, physically, energetically to move you through 30 days of June. Let tonight almost be like a 360 circle where you meet back at yourself, hopefully almost like a new version of who you were on the 1st of June. And so thanking yourself before we start the practice, and so that we move from a space of complete gratitude. And you'll start to blink your eyes until they're open. Let's take a full breath in as you reach both arms up. Straighten out your arms and spread your fingers. And then keeping your sit bones nice and heavy, start to twist from your navel. So we're getting some twist action in the upper back. And then split your hands to bring your right fingertips behind you and your left hand across. Grow up through the lower back, so you're not lying back as if you're kind of chilling on the beach. You're lifting up. And then you can look over your right shoulder. Take 3 full deep breaths here. Count them. And every inhale, drawing in the feeling of quietness and relaxation. You can look back forward, unravel the shoulders. And again, full breath in, both arms reach up, spread through your hands and your fingers. And then twist to your left. So again, I'm twisting from my navel. My right rib cage is wrapping forward. And then I'll split my hands to the opposite side. My left fingertips pressing into the floor to help me up. And then I look over my left shoulder. Again, 3 full breaths here. And with every exhale, releasing of any stress, any tension, and any judgments of self. Bring the gaze forward first, unravel, and then you'll simply change the cross of the legs. Again, we cross at the ankles. Draw both arms up, take a full breath in, reaching up, and then bring your right hand down to the mat. You could stay on your fingertips or go down onto your palm. I'm pressing into my right arm so that my left sit bones ground. And then I draw this top arm up and over. You could look up, forward, or down, whatever's more comfortable for your neck. I'm not squeezing my right shoulder up to my right ear. I'm pulling that right shoulder down. And then I'm going to see if I can pull that top arm across just a little more. Nice. And then let's all relax our right ear down. Flip your left palm up to the ceiling. And almost like you're moving through a thick liquid, start to draw that arm away. Super slow. So this we call a neural stretch. You should be able to feel the nerve endings through your arm to your fingertips kind of wake up and get this beautiful stretch in the neck. Pause when your hand is about shoulder height. And then start to move it backwards. Nice. And let's hold here. Just a breath or so. Should feel quite nice. Remember that left palm is spread. Bring that hand back to in line with your shoulder. And then like a little pendulum effect, keep right ear heavy. Sink left arm down, down, down until you come all the way up. Full breath in, arms reach up. And over to the other side. If you went on your fingertips, you'll be fingertips. If you were palm, your palm. Press into that hand. Press your right sit bone down. Pull your right arm up and over. You could soften the head. Relax your left shoulder down away. And then see if you can pull that top arm over just a little more. Remember the difference between holding tension in your body and just firming your body into the shape. Flip your top palm up, relax left ear to left shoulder, and slowly take that arm away. And then as you sit here, I'd like you to feel your lower belly draw in. I'd like you to relax around your hips. Find shoulder height with your right arm. And then start to draw it back behind you. And then as you soften through your hips and your knees, I'd like you to flex your toes back, so find an activation in your feet. Nice. And then let's bring right hand back into line of the shoulder. And then super slowly let it lower, let it lower, let it lower until you feel like you can come all the way up. Beautiful. Take a little loop of the shoulders here, just so we can almost like come back into symmetry. And then we'll meet in tabletop position. So rolling over your knees, you'll now kind of be on the long side of your mat. My knees are under my hips, my hands under my shoulders. We're going to move through 3 rounds of cat-cow, starting to activate our breath and get a bit of movement into our shoulder girdle and our pelvic girdle. So your inhale is your cow pose. Lift your sit bones, soft belly, start to curl your ears back and open your throat. Cat, opposite movement. Start to tuck your tailbone, hollow the belly. You'll finish by tucking the chin and really firming into the hands. Straighten out the arms, squeeze all the breath out. Back into your cow. Inhale, lift sit bones, curl ears back. And exhale to round, to curl. Last one here. Inhale to lengthen, lift the sit bones. And exhale to round, to curl. Nice. Coming to a neutral spine. You're going to take your hands about 1 hand's distance forward in front of you, shoulder distance apart. Tuck your toes under, and we're going to find a downward facing dog with bent knees, right? So my palms are spread. I'm grounding through all 4 corners of my hand and all 10 fingerprints. Straight arms, lower belly lifts, toes tuck under, and then I lift my hips, okay? So I'm not in a plank pose. I don't have my shoulders above my wrists. I'm pressing all the way back so that I lift my hips as high as I can. I sink my chest down towards the floor, and I stretch out the arms. I relax my head. Nice. Deepen your breath. Feel a little drawing in of the lower belly. Let's hold 5 more breaths here. Notice if that fleshy part between thumb and index finger has lifted. Press down through that part of your hand. Roll your shoulders down away from your ears. Relax your head. Really nice, everyone. And then come back down. Bring your knees to the floor. We'll take a wide knee child's pose here. So untuck the toes. Bring your big toes to touch. Take your knees as wide as is comfortable. And then you're going to sit your buttocks down to your heels. All right. So for some of us, this shape is not as simple or as accessible due to knee flexion or due to hip tightness, right? So you can take your cushion, place it underneath your buttocks, and you could even just be resting on your forearms. So we're just going to hold here a few breaths. Sometimes with these shapes, it's nice to allow yourself to come out. And then like a nice exhale, sit yourself back down. Okay, otherwise, you're trying to reach your arms forward, active hands, elbows off the mat, and if you can, forehead to the floor. Only 2 more breaths here. Stay in it unless you're feeling pain. Nice. And then back into your tabletop. So however you need to adjust to remove your prop edge, come back into your tabletop. Set up for your downward dog again. So take your hands at least a hand's distance forward. Tuck your toes under. Find your bent knee, downward dog again. It's not a kind of plank shape with my shoulders above my wrists. I'm pressing back. Lift your hips, lift your hips, lift your hips, bend your knees. Everyone bend your knees a lot. We're prioritizing the lengthening of the spine here, not the back of the legs. Okay, then a little bit of core connection here as you walk one foot and then the other to the top of your mat. If you can't keep your palms flat, come right onto your fingertips. And then just as you go, walk one, walk two, until you come to the top of your mat. Feet are hip distance apart. Bend knees. Allow your head and arms to be heavy. Bend your knees a little more. And as you bend your knees a little more, feel how your buttocks activate. Feel how you press your feet firmly into the floor. So my pelvis is secure now. From here, I'm going to roll my spine up. So abdominals to spine. Slowly roll up from the bottom to the top. Okay, it's my shoulders and my head that comes up last. Take a loop of the shoulders. Equal standing pose. Nice. High mountain. Take a full breath in. Stretch out the body. And then let's bend the knees. Take the buttocks back, the arms forward. Fold yourself all the way down. Tuck your chin. Take a little halfway lift. We're going to move into a high lunge. So let's step our left leg back. Feet are on parallel tracks. Front knee stacked above front ankle and front foot parallel to the long edge of your mat. Both arms reach up. High lunge. Nice. A little squeeze of that left glute. Remember, my arms are active. And then we'll move into a warrior two. Okay, warrior two pose. Open up to look to the side of your mat, and at the same time, take your left heel towards the midline of your mat. You should have a heel to heel alignment. Now adjust as you must. Nice strong lunge so this front thigh works to be parallel to the floor. I'm not leaning forward, I'm drawing myself back and my shoulders are relaxed. Nice. Strong left thigh. Let's hold one more breath. Nice. Straighten out your front leg. We're going to take a long triangle pose. So generally your triangle might be a little shorter than this, but we'll keep it long for today. Pull your hips to the left. So hips move back, 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 and you should feel more of an opening in the inner right groin. Take your hands forward and bring your right hand to your right shin without leaning on it. Start to draw your left arm up and rotate the left rib cage open. Maybe you look up to the ceiling. Watch that you're not leaning forward. So draw your head back in space. Imagine there's a wall behind you squeezing you forward and a wall in front of you squeezing you back. Beautiful. Bend into that front knee to come back into a warrior two. And then we'll take extended side angle. So let's bring your right forearm onto your right thigh. And then flip your top palm up and start to draw it all the way up and over. If it's uncomfortable to look to the ceiling, you could look forward, you could even look down. Again, you should be able to lift this right hand up at any time. Just one more breath, guys. Stay with me. Really nice. Lower belly in. Beautiful. Come back to your warrior two. Straighten out your front leg. And then turn your right toes forward. Turn both heels in. And then bring yourself to sit in horse pose. Bring your hands in front of your heart. Okay, so now again, I'm sitting quite deep. I'm trying not to lean forward too much so my buttocks stick out, right? But this is really hard work to lift myself up and not have my knees kind of conk in. Okay, so this is a pose that really takes a lot of work, a lot of attention, and no judgment. Okay, so let yourself be. Maybe it's the first time you're ever really moving through this horse pose. Allow yourself to feel the shape. So we're going to move through a little sequence to the breath and really kind of get into activating around the pelvic area while creating some heat in our body, getting our heart pumping a bit and getting the circulation moving through our system. Okay. So your inhale is almost like your cow pose. You're going to open up now. You're going to send your sit bones back and curl your ears back. And then your exhale is the opposite. You're rounding. Tuck your tailbone forward. Bring your fingertips to touch. Tuck your chin. Neutral spine is your inhale, hands to heart. And this is the tough one. Sit all the way down, exhale. Maybe your hands come to the floor. Straighten out your legs. Release all of that. Inhale. And come to sit down, exhale. Nice. One more like that. Inhale, extend the spine. Exhale, sit round, curl your tailbone forward. Hands to heart, neutral spine. And sit down, exhale. Release all the way up. Nice. And then this time, to bring your arms back into your warrior two arms. Send your right heel back so that that right foot is in line with the short edge of your mat. Turn your left toes forward. Make sure that you've got that heel to heel alignment. You might take your stance a little longer. And then sink down into your warrior two to the other side. Right? So vertical shin in my left leg. As much as I can, parallel thigh in my left leg. Strong active right thigh. Strong extending arms. You could look over that left arm. Take one more breath. Beautiful. Gently straighten out your left leg. Triangle pose. Hips kind of move to the right. Left arm reaches forward. Then I bring left hand to rest on my right shin. And my right arm to open. I'm opening that right rib cage. Okay, another thing to note in your standing poses is whether you're locking out your joints. Don't lock out that left knee joint. Okay, it's not going to do anything in one class, but if you do that for the next 3 years, you're definitely going to have an injury there. All right. Then let's move back into our warrior two. Beautiful. Bring your left forearm to your left thigh, extended side angle. Right palm flips up, and that arm moves up and over. I'm squeezing my left sit bone to my right sit bone. Squeezing my right thigh back. Beautiful. And then strong in the legs so that my torso can float up, warrior two. Release. Turn your left toes forward and then turn both toes slightly in. Bring your hands to your hips. Okay, so you're not completely pigeon-toed, but you're grounding through your outer ankles. Inner arches of the feet are lifting. Take your thumbs behind your hips and your forefingers to wrap forward in front, as if you're holding it like a bowl, right? So that's kind of the grip you want around your hips. And as if you were to pour a bowl forward, keep your spine long. Maybe there's a little bend in the knees here. Take your spine long and tilt the pelvis forward so that the sit bones face back. You should feel into your hamstrings now a little. Wake up the thigh muscles and firm around the knee joints. And when you've kind of gone as far as you can, you'll relax your hands down and you'll relax your head down. Don't worry about going down to your deepest. Okay, the weight is in the front of the heels and the balls of the feet, so you're not hanging out into your hamstrings. And then see if you can completely relax your head and your neck so that you're really looking behind you. Taking a few more breaths here, but if at any time in any inversion you feel nauseous or weird pressure or anything like that, dizziness, then please come out. But otherwise, allowing yourself to just stay here. We'll take a few more breaths. Nice. Hands press down to lift the chest up. And then you're going to walk across to your right. Feet on parallel tracks again. Lowering your back knee, you might want to pad it with a cushion here. We'll take a runner's lunge. So untucking the back toes. Bring yourself to the inside of your right leg. Move your right foot a little out to the side, as well as turning your right toes diagonally out. Okay, so the feeling now is opening here, left of the thigh, or the left thigh, the left hip flexor, allowing your hips to really sink down. If you want to go a little further, hands can come down to the floor, and we'll just take a few breaths here. Lift the lower belly and notice how the feeling in the pelvis changes. Beautiful. Come back up. Tuck your toes under. And then walk through. You can kind of keep that cushion. If you had that cushion here, you can just keep it there, because you'll walk yourself all the way across to the other side for a runner's lunge. So again, now if you had your cushion, you could place your knee down, untuck your toes, really allow the pelvis to sink forward. Come to the inside of left leg, take the foot out to the side and turn the toes slightly out. Okay, lift the lower belly, and if you went down, you'll move down here, and we'll take a few breaths. Nice. Bring yourself all the way up. Tuck your back toes under, raise your knee. Walk yourself back through to center. This time, pause here. You can place your cushion to the side. And then heel toe your feet so they're hip distance apart. Take a little halfway lift. And a little forward fold. So just as far as you feel comfortable. And then again, take a little halfway lift. Now heel toe your big toes to touch. Bend your knees so that you bring your thighs parallel to the floor. Chair pose, Utkatasana, sweep the arms up. You're sitting nice and deep. We'll play a little with our figure 4 balance now. So bring your hands to your heart. I'll start with my weaker side first, which is my left leg. Placing my weight into my left leg, I'm going to rise slightly to draw my right knee to chest. Externally rotate that leg, bringing the top of a very active right ankle onto my left thigh. I'm going to squeeze my left hip back in, not let it pop out. And then I'm going to sit myself down as far as I can, trying to bring my right elbow to touch my right knee, my left elbow to touch my right foot. Okay, we'll take 3 full breaths here. See if as you stay here, the longer you stay, the more you lengthen your spine and the more you move your shoulders down away from your ears. Lift your belly. Nice. Come all the way up and lower right foot down. Chair pose from standing. Release the hands, bend the knees, sweep the fingertips, touch the floor. Chair pose. Bring hands to heart. Second side. Weight onto your right leg, draw left knee to chest. Externally rotate that knee. Place the outer left ankle on the right thigh. Squeeze that right hip back. So it's almost like you're drawing your inner hip bones together. Encourage your left knee down. I need to breathe. And sit all the way down. So again, you're trying to bring your elbows onto that parallel thigh, and then really send your sit bones back. Draw the crown of your head forward. And breathe. Broaden your collarbones. So nice, everyone. With control, come all the way up and lower, left foot down. Nice, release your hands, good job. All right, so we're going to find our balance again. I'm going to show you from the side. Weight onto your left foot, bringing your right heel to your buttock. You're going to reach for that foot with your right hand. Find your balance. And then almost just like a little bit of a back bend here, plus opening the front of this right thigh. If you can, left hand moves behind you as well. And you can roll your shoulder caps back and just take a little kick back of that leg. So we're not going to go very far. We're just going to open up the chest and release that right hip flexor. Nice. Draw that right knee all the way into chest and give it a nice squeeze up. And then release. Other side. Left heel to buttocks, reaching left hand to that foot. Starting to kick it back a little. Keeping it in line, so I'm not letting it kind of go out to the side, right? Keeping it in line, it's just going back. It's not going out, it's going back. Maybe both hands. Roll my shoulder caps back. Get a nice opening here. Slowly release. Hold your balance if you can. Squeeze that knee into chest. And again, oh, so nice. Draw it up. And release that foot down. Coming into a little toe stand. Lift onto the balls of your feet. Bring your hands to your heart. Lift your heels. Slowly start to take yourself down. Lift your heels. Don't hold your breath. And take yourself all the way down to the floor. Separate your knees and bring your buttocks down. Nice, everyone. All right. You're going to take your legs out to the side. You've got your cushion now, so you can almost, as we started, bring yourself back onto your cushion. Now, my legs aren't as wide as they can go. They're about a 90 degrees, and they also don't have to be completely straight. I'm going to reach both my arms up, and then I'm going to take a twist to my right, like we did earlier. Bring my right hand behind me and take a twist. Remember, I'm not lying back on the beach, I'm lifting up. Bring your gaze forward. Reach both arms up. And then take your twist to your left. Active feet, active ankles. And then bring your gaze forward. Again, reach both arms up. And then lift through the lower belly and take yourself forward, 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 as far as you can go. Hands come down to the floor. And then you just soften down. We'll take 5 full breaths here. Count them. Don't cheat. And let's come all the way up. So nice, guys. You're going to bring both legs in front of you. Okay, make sure you got your strap or your towel close by. Make sure your sit bones are sitting up on your cushion. So I'll actually show you from the side. What I mean by that is that I'm not kind of, by straightening my legs, a lot of the time you can end up quite rounded and then you're in that kind of action, rather bend your knees and tilt your pelvis forward. So I'm lifting up. See how tall my spine is? This is what I want. That's not what I want. I want this up and rather have my knees bent. Okay? So you can work your legs straight as you go. Let's bend our left knee and place the sole of the left foot in towards our right thigh. Reach for your strap. Bend that right leg a little bit. Hook over your right foot. Lift up through your chest. And then using your arms, you're going to start to draw your belly to your thigh. Belly to your thigh. My head hasn't dropped. My shoulders haven't rounded. And when my body tells me that's as far as you're going, then from there maybe I walk my hands forward and soften down. Maybe I play with straightening out that leg. And then again, let's just take a few breaths here. Beautiful. Come all the way up. Bring your towel or your strap with you and switch. Left leg forward. Right knee to bend, opening right leg out to the side. Bend that left knee a little bit. Bring your strap around that foot. Lift up. And bend your elbows. Draw your belly to your thigh. Take a little lift maybe. And then again. And then from there you'll soften everything down. Maybe as you stay in the shape, you play with straightening that leg a little more, a little more, a little more. Nice. And you'll bring yourself all the way up. You can place your strap to the side, place your cushion to the side. And then you're going to bring yourself to lie all the way down. Hug both knees to chest. And then placing right hand on right knee, left hand on left knee. Soft ankles, you're just going to start to roll the knees, or the femur bones. Allow the belly to be soft so you get a little rocking action in the pelvis. Change direction. And then place both feet down onto the mat, nice and close to your buttocks, hip distance apart. As we did in our chair pose, figure 4, bring your right ankle onto your left thigh and open your right knee away from you. Both my SI joints are trying to stay on the floor, so both my buttocks are heavy, my hips. And then you could stay here, or you could lift your head, neck, and shoulders. Reach your right hand through this little triangle. Bring your hand either to the back of that left thigh or the front of that left shin. And then bring yourself to lie down. But try not allow the buttocks to kind of roll all the way up. So it's that same feeling as being in your chair pose. You're really sending your sit bones forward. The tailbone is trying not to curl up too much. You can close your eyes here maybe. Just take a last few breaths. If your head is quite far from the ground, or if it ends up almost like tilting so that your chin is up to the ceiling, I would place a cushion underneath your head for all your lying down work, just so you're nice and supported and that the spine stays long. All right, let's release. Take one little bridge pose, or again, reset your feet. Let's raise our arms up over our head, squeeze your buttocks, and just stretch open the belly. And then from top to bottom, come all the way down. Bring your arms back. Second side, outer left ankle, right thigh. You're helping to rotate that femur bone exteriorly. And then if you did so on the other side, you'll lift up, keeping a nice flat spine as far as you can. Grounding the shoulder blades again, the back of the head. And then once more, you could close your eyes as you just deepen the breath. If you feel satisfied, you've held the same amount on this side as the other, you'll slowly release. The last little bridge pose here, reach your arms up and over, raise your hips. And then roll your spine down from top to bottom, draw your knees to your chest, take a little full body squeeze. And then we'll find our final resting pose. So you got a cushion or two, you could place that under your head. Let your feet flop out. Let your arms be out to the side with your palms face up, a floppiness through the ankles and the feet, broadening through the collarbones. And allow the whole body to relax. Close your eyes. And see if you can relax just a little more. Don't let the mind move off your mat. Keep yourself present. Indulge in this last minute or so of just letting the earth hold you. And as the earth and gravity holds our physical body, our physical body holds ourself. Let's invite a little bit of movement back into our fingers and our toes. And slowly bring both arms above your head and take a full breath in and a full breath out. Maybe a bit of a stretch. Stretch yourself, your toes. Relax here for a few moments more. And then slowly you can bend your knees. roll over onto your right or left side to slowly bring yourself all the way up to sit. Simply crossing the legs. Bringing one hand and the second hand across your heart space. Close your eyes. Truly thanking yourself for all your efforts, for creating all those little blocks of time for yourself throughout this month. And we take everything that serves us with us on our journey forward, and we let go of everything that does not. And the more we connect to ourselves, the more time we make to connect to ourselves, the wiser we become on what is the right and the wrong decisions for our best interest moving forward. But if you do not take the time to really hear yourself and ask those questions, then you'll never get a clear answer. So thank yourself, and I thank you all for sharing your practice today or whenever it is that you watch this video. And I wish you all a beautiful end of June. Have a lovely evening. Thank you, everybody. I hope you enjoyed this evening's practice. I hope everyone's hips spoke to them at least just a little bit through one or two of the poses. Mine certainly did. But I do love it. It does bring up a lot for me, all the emotions. But it's really, yeah, one of my favorite practices. So thank you all for joining. So lovely to have you. Such a pleasure, Lisa. I'm glad you enjoyed it. Well done, exactly, Taryn. Well done to everyone. Well done to everyone, guys. Really, it's not about how far you get in the practice. I mean, I think one of the beauties for me about this new online training system and about being at home is that there are no gym mirrors around, kind of, and there are no like other people in the mirrors looking at you and other people next to you, and almost like that whole part of, but the person next to me looks like this, or the person next to me can do this. That's all been taken away, which is actually really beautiful, because now you can just be with yourself and be on your mats and just be in your practice. And yeah, I mean, I'd love to hear from a few of you who've been following the classes for a few weeks now, what changes you're seeing in your body. I know, well, it seems like a lot of people are a lot more relaxed, which is great. And just keep going at it, guys. Keep getting on your mat. Keep doing these classes. Yeah. Thank you, everyone. Thanks, Cyan. Such a pleasure. To Neil, Michelle, Shoshana, such a pleasure. Plessie, Rina, ek hoop jy het dit geniet. Laat weet vir my hoe dit gegaan het asseblief. Ek sal dit baie geniet om te hoor hoe die klas vir jou was. Such a pleasure, Nicole. First flow session from Haley. I'm glad you enjoyed it. And Bridget. Such a pleasure, everyone. And Catherine, lovely to have you here as always. Balance incoming from Marley Skoenraad. That balance, girl, my balance looked good today in that figure 4, but if you watch yesterday's class, it did not look like that. And that's the thing about the practice, it will never look the same on any given day, and it will never look the same on anyone else's body. It is such a unique practice, and it is yours to explore. So I really hope to see you all again for a session this week. Andy Eitzman was my first yoga class. Loved it. Well done. and you got straight into the hips in your first yoga class. Not all classes are as intense in the hips, but it's a great way to start. It's kind of like diving in the deep end of asana, of physical practice, where you kind of get into the hips. Rita, baie dankie Kathleen. Ek het my geleer in die klasse om dankie te sê vir jou liggaam. Thanks, so lovely. Rita, beslis, dis een ding wat ek altyd vir myself sê. Ek kan dit maar in Engels sê dat almal verstaan. So I was saying to Rita that one of my most important lessons that I've learned on my yoga journey is that gratitude to your body is something that needs to be given every single day. Your body is not separate from who you are. Your body cannot be separated from who you are. Your body is you and you are your body. And your body communicates to you exactly where you are, kind of energetically, and how you're feeling. If there's something going on, I mean, I could go on about the body for ages about how incredible it is. But yeah, just that daily gratitude is very, very important. Cool, Jono. I hope you were doing that. I hope you enjoyed it. Cyan, my mat is a bit slippery. Where is your yoga mat from? So I get asked that a lot, guys. Just send me a direct message and I'll send you some more information, because it's a bit of a thing to chat about. My first session from Amachle, a bit tense in the balance, but we'll be here again tomorrow until I'm perfect. Thank you for the amazing session. Great, Amachle, exactly. You just need to keep coming back, keep trusting yourself. You know, like we always say, like Jonna always says, trust the process. And that is not different from the flow classes to the high intensity, to anything in your life, to yourself. Trust the process, you know, trust yourself. Cool, guys. Well, you guys all know me. I'm always like chatty McChat. Yeah, just the last little thing that I wanted to chat about, and that I know most of you are aware. I know, seeing all the names here, we've got a lot of members joining here this evening, and I know a lot of you guys are already doing the one-on-one sessions. So for those of you who are not members yet, you can see on the screen here lots of things that we're offering at the moment, guys. Kind of lots of free things. So obviously a huge amount of classes per week, the high intensity, the boxing, the flow, so many things, the Jeff Ed, which are those extra little sessions of information that we try and put for you guys. And we do ask for that 200 Rand contribution to our Jeff community, actually, because it helps us to grow. It helps us to get everything, or as much as we can, to you guys. When you sign up for the membership, that will then include a lot more perks, things like the guided runs, the cooking with Chef Adrian on a Wednesday. You'll then receive some pre-information to those sessions that really get you prepped for it, and a lot more. So you can get in touch with us if you're interested to know more about the membership and how that works. And then, of course, those of you who are members, I actually saw 1 or 2 people announce that they're signing up for their one-on-ones for July. If there's a day to do it, it is today. It is tomorrow. Starting with a new month is always a great time to start. It just helps us put our mindset in that kind of framework. Print your Jeff calendar with Siri's beautiful smiling face on. Let us know if you're interested in the one-on-one coaching. That is upping your game. That is taking it to a whole next level, with a little Jeff guardian angel supporting you through the entire process. But yeah, I guess that's that for me, guys. It's been lovely having all of you join, and I wish you all a beautiful evening further. Tomorrow, 12 o'clock, is our Jeff top-up session at 12, and that is basically just all the stretchiness that you can think of. So if you're keen to stretch, join me tomorrow. Have a lovely evening. Thanks, guys. Bye.